Nick Isaacson is joining us here this morning on the show. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Now, tell people, for those that don't know the story as it pertains to the billeting and your association with two former players, on how you learned of certain things through the Billet brothers.
Well, yeah, it was interesting having two players, and I definitely got to learn and watch what they were doing over the years, how they prepared for games, and how they took care of themselves. So I definitely just watched that and learned from both of them over the years.
Well, and it's a big part of that world too. When you have to go from one team to another, there's generally there's a huge switch. Sometimes you're playing your own backyard, sometimes you're not. In terms of that trade, I mean, what's it like for you at that point when you're playing for the Petes and you get news that you're coming to Mississauga? What was that like?
It was weird for sure, because I was preparing for a game in Peterborough. I was just about to take a nap, and then I got the phone call saying I got traded. So I got picked up from one of my coaches, went straight to North Bay from there, and then played 3 games. So it was a tough start, but now that I have been practicing with the team for a while and got to know the guys, it's been really fun.
And knowing that you were going kind of back home in a sense, considering there's a lot of family in the Mississauga area for you, that must have been a little bit of a relief. It wasn't like you were getting traded to the Sioux or somewhere a lot further away.
Yeah, no, for sure. I have all my friends and family here, so definitely get quite a few people at every home game. So it's nice to see the support.
Well, this is again a situation that we've talked about with some of the other players, in that this team sort of maybe even a little later than midseason sort of had a lot of new faces to it, and therefore, if it's a year that's perceived to be kind of rebuilding, replenishing, which happens in junior hockey, you hope that you're on the right side of the cycle. I would say this, Nick, it looks like you're really on the right side of this cycle.
Yeah. Well, since I don't know how long it's been, but I think I saw something saying we've won 7 out of the last 9. So that's really good if you can do that anywhere, even if you're on a first-place team. That's really good. So for us with a young team, we've been finding a lot of success. So that's really good for us, especially because of how young we are.
Nick, what's the strengths of your game? We saw, by the way, and we were talking about it on Monday, the snipe you had against the Rangers was magnificent. The shot and where you placed it and everything was great. I'd love to see you do that more often, just from a fan point of view. I know you probably would love to do that too, but what's the strength of your game, and what do you think you bring to a hockey club right now?
I would say I'm a power forward, so I'm a fast skater. I finish my checks, and I would definitely say my shot's one of my biggest strengths, like you just said. So I've been working on that a lot and try to shoot the puck a little more.
Now, we have your coach and general manager on every Wednesday. And so is there any disgruntlement, anything that you don't like about him that we should tell him that he's got to change his ways? Is there anything that you want us to do for you on your behalf?
He doesn't bring enough donuts to the rink.
Yeah, I bet you some go missing. I bet you go so missing from the car to the rink. He's one of these guys. I got to be honest, Nick. Since we've started doing the show, which coincides, by the way, with your team's uprise. I don't know if people talk about that in the dressing room, but the thing that I think is interesting is that getting to know him and his understanding and his approach to the game, going back to his time with the Aurora Tigers, time in Europe, time in Los Angeles. I don't know if I've certainly, obviously he never coached me, but in terms of well-roundedness, I think you got one of the better guys in the league, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's been through it all. He's won a Stanley Cup with LA, and he coached Aurora, had some success with them for a while, and now even he went to the finals with Mississauga a couple years ago against my team. So he's definitely had some experience. So we're definitely taking that away from him. And I think we're learning a lot from what he's done in the past.
Hey, Nick, let's talk about some of the off-ice stuff involved in your life. Are you still taking flying lessons, and are you a registered pilot yet, or anything like that? I know your dad is a pilot and so forth, but are you still taking that as maybe an off-season venture, and maybe possibly something you want to do in the future?
Yeah, for sure. In the summer, I started taking that, and I was flying all the time, and I kind of put that on hold a little during the season just because of the weather. So once this season's over, for sure, I'm going to start doing that, and I'll definitely consider doing that once hockey's done.
So do you have your license yet, or can you fly a plane? What's your level of expertise right now as we speak?
So I can fly a plane by myself, but I basically have to have someone there with me, like a driver's license, like just like a regular G1 kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you this, though. So if you were on Snakes on a Plane...
Which is a blockbuster movie.
And the plane is going down, you would have no problem landing that sucker.
I could probably maybe pull a few tricks up my sleeve and try to land it.
And just so you know, I'm now going to steal some things from your life. I mean, I think Dave and I, over the years, have probably, south of the border, both lied on the professional hockey careers. But if you add hockey player and pilot, what are you kidding me? You must do great in the bars.
Yeah.
well, you know what? I got another thing, because I know Nick's not going to brag about it, but I hear from good authority. Not only is he a full-fledged OHL hockey player, and a very good one, a pilot, but he's also a competitive snowboarder. Nick, can you tell us about your snowboarding career, and do you still actually touch on that, considering that, you know, it's a little risky, considering that you're a big kid, and you don't want to hurt a knee or a hip or an ankle or anything like that. Do you still snowboard at all?
Yeah, I wasn't really competitive ever. I love to do it. So when I was younger, I used to go all the time, and I was really good. So I used to practice all the time, but I was never really competitive with it.
Well, no one needs to know that, Nick.
I was trying to build you up.
Yeah. You go to Finn McCool's, I'm telling you right now, you can say you're a silver medalist. No one's going to say no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Now, when your family had it, was it Trevor Carrick that you had? Was it a Carrick?
Yeah, Carrick and Bastl.
No, forgot. See, the Carrick family, they're from my hometown. So both Sam and their parents, I know them very well. In fact, when we were down in Pittsburgh for the entry draft, well, I think it was Jimmy Rutherford was still with Carolina when he got drafted by them. I was down there with the parents. That was a pretty cool thing, pretty nice family. So, look, this is, as I said, Dave and I have been pretty happy having you guys on the air with us. You all represent yourselves really, really well. And I know that in the area, in the town, the city of Mississauga, they kind of got their fingers crossed. And I think it's going to be a pretty exciting time. So for you, the best of luck. Hopefully we'll catch up again soon. And thanks so much for joining us here this morning, Nick.
All right. Thanks a lot for having me, Dave and Mike.
There's Nick. Look at that. Another home run guy on that team.
You just got your morning drive back. Raw Mike Richards on News Talk Sauga 960 with traffic on the fives, featuring the best and most detailed West End traffic in the GTA. Raw Mike Richards and traffic on the fives, exclusively on News Talk Sauga 960.